Today I'm going to be sharing one of my favorite recipes. It's from my mom for lasagna. My take on it's a little bit different than hers, and I'm sure yours will probably be a little bit different than mine. But I would like you to give you the basics. It's one of my go-to recipes. It takes a little bit of time, but all good things take time. Step one is to make a tomatoey meat sauce. Step two is to prepare the cheeses. I use 3 different kinds. Mozzarella, anthotyro, I'll talk about that later a little bit more, and parmesan. Step 3 is to assemble the whole thing. And step 4 is to get it in the oven. I have some local meat here, which is really good. It's wonderful local mint. This is from the, what do you call it in English? Booty in Greek. Of the cow. But I also have them always put a handful of pork in it because the meat is so lean that the pork lends it a little bit of needed fat and flavor. You can make your go-to bolognese sauce if you have a favorite recipe for meat and tomatoey sauce. I'm going to put some extra veg in this one. Some sweet pepper, some courgette, some mushrooms, some carrots, and definitely onion and garlic, just to make it a little bit more interesting. A third of a cup of olive oil. Enough to coat the bottom of the pan quite thickly. Let's start with the onion and the garlic. Before I speed this thing up, let me just say that this sauce needs to be a lot more watery than your normal red sauce. The soft cheese needs 1 egg yolk broken and mixed into it. Forgot to film that part. Hi there. So here's the fun part. Assembly. So I have 2 boxes of lasagna. Doesn't need to be pre-boiled or anything. But our sauce is extra watery, more so than a normal, say, spaghetti sauce would be, because we want the pasta to be able to absorb lots of liquid. So we start out with a layer of the sauce, mostly liquid, as you can see. Just get that all over the pan. And then we layer these in. Oops. Slightly overlapping. And then over the top, more sauce. It's going to be 3 or 4 layers, so plan accordingly how much you put on each layer. You get the hang of it. I've got a lot of sauce here, so I'm not too worried. And you have to make sure you leave a little bit for the top, because I'm not putting a bechamel on this. So once you get a good, nice layer of sauce, it's time to get your hands dirty. So we've got 3 kinds of cheeses. Mozzarella, and just lightly sprinkle it over the top. Parmesan, oregano. You can use grana, which is less expensive, but it's not quite as tasty. Let's do this one at the same time. And the ricotta cheese that's been mixed with an egg yolk. Now, we don't have ricotta cheese available here on Kea, but anthotyro, which is a Greek cheese made in the cooler months, they don't make it in the summer, is a perfect alternative. It's basically the same thing. It's not very salty, and it's extremely soft and fresh. It works really beautifully for this dish. Just make a nice even layer. Now we go back here, some pasta. Another layer of sauce. Yeah, this is going to be 3 layers because I don't think 4 layers would fit in the pan. More cheese. Resist licking my fingers because there's raw egg in there. And this is the 3rd layer. Push it all down because I need to have some room for some more sauce at the top. plain sauce on the top so it doesn't dry out. You could put bechamel on the top, but I'm not a big dairy eater, and bechamel is butter, flour, and milk. So I am not going to do bechamel. I also find it makes it really heavy, and even though this has so much cheese in it, it's actually not heavy. It doesn't make you feel gross. When I put the bechamel on it, not so much. So, so that you can do your own thing. If you're used to putting bechamel on stuff, put bechamel. Wow, perfect. So that's normal. It's usually one box and a few leaves. So I'll just put those in a sealed container for the next time. And here you have it, ready to go in the oven. Now let's get rid of the cat. Bianca, what are you doing here? It's time to go out. Go on, get out. Come on. Get out. I feed several homeless cats, but only Dickie Doo is allowed inside. What a beautiful evening. I had to walk down to the local market to get some aluminum foil and saw our local swan who just flew in this year. He's young. He was gray when he arrived, but he is starting to turn white now. I often make this lasagna when people are coming over, and I usually make an extra small one. I make a second one that is smaller to put in the freezer. Freezes really well. Just to clarify, I bake it first, then let it cool completely, and then put it in the freezer. It spends about 1 hour in the oven at 350 Fahrenheit, 180 Celsius. You could even go up to 400. Last night was too dark to film when it was finished, so here's the next day reheated version. It smells so good. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Next one is definitely going to be outside because we have a gorgeous week coming up. And I'm really looking forward to filming at the factory before it gets completely renovated and hopefully not destroyed. Really good. It might not be a traditional lasagna, but I love it.